vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Are you ready to make your mark in the media industry? NBC and Real FM are looking for fresh talent to join our team. We are currently seeking a dynamic radio DJ and announcer for Real FM, and also a skilled camera operator and editor for NBC. Apply today. Send your applications to jobs@nbcslu.com. Don't wait. The deadline is February 12, 2026.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufriere, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufriere, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Wonderful Friday afternoon to you, everyone. It is the first Friday of the second month of 2026, the month of February. It is also the end of another weekly cycle of the Real Issues. Our program is weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station Real FM that serves you on two frequencies, 91.3 for the north and 91.5 for the south. We simulcast on NBC television, our sister TV station, which is part of and which the initials stand for McDowell's Broadcasting Corporation. We're also available on Facebook Live and on YouTube live streaming. And so we are wrapping up the first week of our program for the first week of the month of February. How they coincide well. Tomorrow will be the 7th, and that will be the end of the first full week. If you take it as 7 days of the real issues, today is Friday the 6th. Hope you're having a good day. We spare a moment to turn our thoughts, our hearts, our sympathies and condolences to the family of a very young child, 10 years old, who was taking part in some school sports, we understand, and collapsed. That's in the community of Jackmill, Boaden Jackmill, an area with which in times past I was quite familiar. Used to move about in that area. I was more of a limer in those days, but also work took me in those areas. Now Terry Fenelon has me 2,000 knots when it comes to being a limer guy who strolls. When you hear me mention, there's a period in my life where I was very familiar with a lot of the communities. Sometimes I struggle to remember, but Boaden Jackmill is an area. Boaden, Monsizo, those places. Very nice places, very pleasant people. Sometimes they have unfairly gotten a bad name. So condolences to the family, to the parents, to the blood relatives, to the school students and classmates and so on, who would be shocked and shaken by that. It's not the first time it has happened. I remember many years ago there was a marathon, a school marathon in the community of Choiseul. And a little girl who apparently was known to be asthmatic by a family, I don't know if the school had been notified, took part in the marathon and seemed to be doing well, very competitive, pushing it well, and at some point she got into some respiratory distress. I can't remember her name right now. She was very, very young, maybe less than 10, perhaps 7, 8 or thereabout, and collapsed and did not recover. There's something about children. You have to admire their spirit and their courage, when they're young. I guess all of us are like that. Death is not something that we contemplate, that's in our consciousness. But children in particular, no matter how sick they are, when they see their friends playing and enjoying themselves, they want to do it too. They want to get into it. And so sometimes they're in a race, they're running, even if they feel a little twitch of discomfort, they're not the type as we adults who can be on the hypochondriac side, on the malingering side, to drop out. Is the joy, is the thrill of the rush of the race and the running that they want to be part of it. And it's usually adults who have to look to see if they're faltering, if they're struggling, because they just want to be in it and so on. Children sometimes have problems with asthma, with lupus, with a whole lot of conditions that can be affecting them. Talk to parents who have children who have type 1 diabetes, for example, which they are, I think, born with. It's a genetic thing and so on. And when they're up and about with their friends, I suppose conforming to what their parents has strictly lectured them about, it goes out the window. They don't want to feel limited and restricted and like oddities. They out there, they're eating the wild fruits and the bagui and the mango and the how you call that, the fat pork, the zabuiko. They'll feast on it like everybody else. It gives them a sense of being normal. It gives them a sense of having that kind of pair bonding, of not being oddities or peculiarities and so on. And at times this can be their undoing. For the most part, they get along well. But if any of us teachers, whoever, know that they have certain conditions, maybe we can look out for them. It's impossible to keep an eye out for every single child in a marathon at every single moment. But these particular ones, they have vulnerabilities, whether of asthma or something else. And they can keep a particular eye out for them. But it is sad, however, it does happen. And, this child would have passed away doing what she enjoyed, what she, wanted to be part of and so on. Perhaps there's nobody to blame in this, but that doesn't take away the grief and the sorrow. And so from the real issues, Terry, myself, Jaquan, and all of us here, we want to extend heartfelt condolences and hope that the family can move on. It's one thing to see a relative old and in bed and they're really struggling, and that they have reached the age where they can check out. As Terry had prepared himself for quite some time, his elderly mother in her 90s, he knew the time was going to come. When it hits, it still hits very hard, but at least you saw her, you visited her, she was old and not doing well. It's another thing when your child leaves home and kisses you and smiles at you goodbye and walks down the road, and she's all cheerful and upbeat, looking forward to the sports today and whatever it is today, and the next thing you get the news, she's no more, she's gone and so on. So we know the feeling. All right. Yeah. So Terry,
yes.
What's cooking in your craw today?
A lot, really. Today is Friday. It's Feel Good Friday.
Okay.
We have the battle really going on. Well, I'm trying to rep. This is my 40th. These people should know. They should send shirts for us, Shelton. No. For shirts. Dr. Cordelia Ambrose and company. We need shirts at at NBC here. Shelton, myself, and Jaquan.
And that's a real issue.
That's a real issue, because we need to be repping. We are there promoting and stuff. Shelton, I want to join you. The child, well, the CEO, the CMO made a statement that I did not get to hear, because this morning I will tell you, coming from the beach, Shelton, I was taken up, guess what? Under 19 cricket, the finals, India and England. I mean, I don't know how many of our listeners, but hello, there's this 14-year-old boy from India, opening batsman. I can't pronounce his name too well, so I'm not going to try. Soraya Vashi. Okay. Oh gosh.
A new Sachin Tendulkar.
Oh, it looks so 14 years, Shelton. Let me tell you what the man did.
Yes.
175 runs in 80 deliveries. The man was striking at a rate of 200 and something.
That is a prodigious strike.
15 fours, 15 sixes.
Boy.
India that's the final. India posted a total of 411. And England was, I mean.
Now, if in a 2020 match.
Well, it's a 50 over there. Yeah.
Oh, 50 over.
50 over.
Okay.
I mean, and this guy, I mean, the strike rate. 14 years of 15 fours, 15 sixes. I mean, that was.
Are you talking about an average of a little over than 8 runs
over
for the whole innings? Yeah.
And I'll tell you the reason why I was enthralled, because England, I thought, well, boy, that was too daunting a task for England. No, they were chasing that down, Sadly, I say sadly, not that I was supporting England. I had no skin in the game. They were losing wickets. And even when they were losing it, they were down to 7. There was this guy, Falconer, who stood and he was taking the fight to them.
He put his claws out.
He put his claws out. He scored a century and stuff. I mean, fantastic.
So by how much did England fall short of?
100.
100.
I mean, if you see that they had wickets intact, if they had not
they
lost,
probably didn't pace themselves well enough.
Yeah, they struck. Some of them, I mean, went for some shots there, Sometimes the ball is there to be hit.
They probably look at the score and they said, look, this is do or die,
Yeah, they were going for it.
Yes,
all heart. And man, I was enthralled. Yeah. So that took me off from the...
These days, my enthusiasm for watching cricket has dipped again when I saw the performance of West Indies in 2 series 2020 against Afghanistan.
And even the warm-up match.
Afghanistan have shown a lot of heart, they've shown a lot of guts, a lot of spirit since they came back, or since they came into international cricket. But as if West Indies, the last game, they managed to rally or whatever.
Yes, always
there when the issue is decided already.
Yeah.
And I look at West Indies and then South Africa.
Well, Shelton, let me tell you,
I don't know.
The World Cup starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we are first.
So if that is the preparation matches that we're showing ourselves, then
I'm going to make a prediction.
When the real thing comes,
people will think I'm crazy.
We're winning it again.
I think we start our campaign at 5:30 tomorrow morning against Scotland. I think Scotland replaced Sri Lanka. I think no, one of the teams. I think, but our first. I think there are 3 matches tomorrow. I think we're up at 5:30.
The Scotland replaced Pakistan. Didn't Pakistan?
One of the teams.
Pakistan withdraw, of course, because
no. I don't think it's not Pakistan. Another team.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
Pakistan withdraw from.
But
I don't know.
Sheldon, we don't have Poran. Poran made it clear that he's not returning to. He's not going to be wearing the maroon again. He's retired. He's done with that. We understand that. At 29, and he's arguably about the best in the world. And then Evan Lewis, people are saying whether we should have had Evan Lewis versus our boy Johnson Charles, but the rationale is that Johnson Charles is the backup wicketkeeper, and we know he can bat. If he puts his head to it, so I'm going to make a prediction.
It just comes together for him,
Sometimes
you never know what the Johnson
like this young man, this 14-year-old, things were just going his way, but he was not playing rush shots, decent cricket shots. I mean, this man is a prodigy. So I'm going to tell you, no, Scotland or Lapo, no team there is Lapo. But I'm going to tell you, Shelton, I think we have a good squad. We are the batters, the batsmen, we have that. The bowling, we have a little thing. But I'm going to tell you something. If we get out of the group stage, we reach in the finals. You see, it all depends on how, the toss is important sometimes. Fellas have to play. If we can get out of the group stages, I'm going to tell you, once and for all, Shelton, we're going to be in the finals. I'm not going to say we're going to win it.
I won't take a bet with you, because I just feel I'll be taking your money.
And I don't have to throw. But Shelton, no. I mean, we got to rally around the boys. I mean, the coach is our national. He's under a lot of pressure, I can tell you.
He has been for some time.
A long time.
Apparently, he knows how to take pressure.
Yeah, Aaron Sammy has been under a lot of pressure.
This one has not resigned yet.
Yes.
Everything is the man they blame.
The whole Caribbean, except St. Lucia, is against him. But I believe, Shelton, if we play our card like Invader, if we play our cards right, we go into the finals because we have a good squad. That squad is capable of beating any team on its day. Yes, the bullying, but sometimes, Shelton, things can happen. So let's hope for the best. Let's rally. Okay. The first match is 5:30. I'll be up around that time to take it in, Shelton.
I'm always up around that time.
Yes. Now, earlier this morning when I woke up, before I left home, I think I was able to listen to the homily by Father Albert.
No, that's for Lisa Joseph.
For Lisa's.
In fact, yesterday I think there were two funerals, at the Leclerc Church. I think that is why they had Lisa's own in the morning. Yeah. I think Mr. Leslie Clark.
Oh, in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, okay. But I listened to the homily, Shelton, and I think I'm not going to play it, but maybe at some point. But he made some very, very, very good points. I was in Father Albert in a different vein. Normally, but this was serious. His message was on point, dealing with the truth. That's why, Shelton, I have told the public we have taken an oath to always speak the truth. Everything here will be true. Everything that we say must be true.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not everything that is true that we must say, because sometimes we have to leave things behind,
Quite true.
But everything we say must be true. We're not going to give you misinformation, disinformation. If anything, as I've said here and other places, we're going to supply the missing information. And now these days you have so much misinformation, especially in the Cuba, and the American thing, calling our Prime Minister a liar. No. Today a very stern warning came out from the State Department. No, not so, Shelton?
Yes, it did.
That they're going to hold governments responsible if they're, that was clear enough. I mean, that was unambiguous. That was a threat, even though, it didn't come out as that. You mess around, you do not, you continue your Cuban program, we're going to have you under the gun. Simple. I mean, so when the Prime Minister diplomatically said what he said, people call him a liar. People are quick to
As a matter of fact, there are some people who seem to be waiting
that's right.
for an opportunity and occasion where they can jump on the Prime Minister's credibility and say that he's lying. That has been their theme.
Yes.
He's lying to you. He's misleading you.
But it's not
in spite of getting the bone-crushing blowback that they have gotten, the repercussions of this approach of always trying to embarrass the Prime Minister and his predecessor and ministers. This new term, parliamentary term, this new, you only mimson. They haven't changed. They haven't learned a lesson. You only mimson. They have their back to the wall. They're reeling on the ropes, but they're still coming back with the same foolishness again.
We're not giving them advice. All I'm going to tell them is continue on that path, because it's a path that has brought us 16-1.
Yeah, of course, yes.
So continue the misinformation, the lies, and they're very loud about it. They're loud.
As if they rejoice when they think that there's something. That St. Lucia, as if that can reverse the election result.
I mean, seriously, when we lose the Cuban IKEA program, what's it, the Milagro?
Yeah, Mission Milagro.
Yeah, when we lose that, are you not aware of what that means? You may have family waiting for cataract surgery, free. That goes, that goes away. And then you have to face the private clinics, because I've checked the private clinics, $5,500 per eye. So for 2 eyes, $11,000. Some people have to go and take loans, etc., to do that, to restore their vision. That is something you're getting done for free. And you're going to rejoice because what? You think that's going to advance your political cause. It ain't going to give you one vote. I've said that already. People, this is a time when we have to rally together. I don't care what is your political persuasion, red, yellow, blue, green. I don't care. This is time as solutions. We have to join hands and stand with our government, because we are under attack. And when we lose that, Shelton, I mean, the Americans, that is taken away from us. It's a void, they're not going to fill the void. Are you going to take our students and say, okay, those students that have been displaced, are you going to take them into the American universities without cost? I mean, you read the thing from Trinidad. Oh, we're not sending students to Cuba because they can't send food.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
all those years we were sending food, and then all of a sudden there's a change of government that it's too much to send food, 2 little packages of rice and red beans and all that. You know,
we cannot send food for them. I mean, people, come on. Let's for a minute forget about, the color. Our country is under siege, under attack, through no fault of ours. It's not that the Prime Minister has done anything, the country has not done anything. You all could try to spin it how you want. All of us are in the Eastern Caribbean, and you understand the department is clear. In the Eastern Caribbean, if you continue this Cuban medical thing, you're going to be in trouble. So find alternatives. So Antigua, you want your adopted homeland, they had to go to Angola.
That's right.
To get nurses to fill the void left by the Cubans when they exited, because there's going to be a deficit in the healthcare system.
Ghana is another place.
Ghana, yes.
So the deepening of relations with Africa has been well timed. It's coming at just the time that we need that kind of support and that kind of help.
Yeah, so even if we have to go to Nigeria now, because we have established, hello, ladies and gentlemen, we did not establish diplomatic relations with a president. We established diplomatic relations with a country. And if that country is going to provide the kind of help we need, hello. And we need to establish more. We need to ensure that we tap into that thing. Africa is big. Africa is rich in resources. And if you can tap, Angola, and fine, let's do that, because the doors are closing in. The Americans have said no, and we can't argue with that. American hegemony, we can't argue with that. All right, we're not going to do anything to displease you, because after all, we need our planes flying, we need the ships coming in, etc. We're not going to do anything to cause harm to our country. We're going to play by the diplomats. As you said, maybe from the back channels, the diplomats are talking, etc., trying to see how that can be resolved.
This is the worst the world has been in a long time, short of being actually at war,
Yes.
For a country to be watching others and telling them who your friends can be, who you can have relations with, who you can have dealings with. We don't want you to have dealings with this place, and if you do, we'll take action against you. I have never seen this kind of naked bullying, of countries in the world like that, Never. Not even in the worst days of the Cold War. The fellas have a problem with China. They have diplomatic relations with China, but if you have with China, they want to threaten you and so on. I just don't understand this thing that's happening. It's the worst it has been.
And what saddens me, Shelton, there are people who are not sinning, they are rejoicing, they're happy, because it seems it's a black eye for PJP. No, it's not black eye.
It's not America they love so much. They want, this is their way of coping with the agony of defeat.
That's right.
The agony of defeat. If I can find a way that I can plunge a dagger in the back of Philip J. Pierre, and if America will do it for me in a substitute win, I am going to rejoice and applaud it. Anyway,
that's not going to.
Let's take one of the clips that we have from Johnny Manuel, the communications. Okay, Jacon said it's still loading.
No, but we have other clips. Anyone that you're loaded, because we have today's Friday, Feel Good Friday. We have clips there. There are a lot happening in the country, positive things, and we're going to be highlighting that in the coming weeks. Okay. Let's take anyone until you load the which one is this one? Soufriere. Yeah, let's take that one.
Port Soufriere hosted the expedition cruise vessel Hebridean Sky on Friday, 16th January, marking the ship's inaugural call to Soufriere. The visit brought together SRDF and partner agencies for a brief onboard engagement as Soufriere continues positioning itself for cruise ship calls and curated destination experiences. Master of the Hebridean Sky, Captain George Hendry, touted the Soufriere experience.
It's a pleasure to be back. I brought Island Sky here 2 years ago for their inaugural visit, and the feedback that we gave was very warm, and we were very happy with all the organisation, as well as the facilities and the tours ashore and so on, and we put recommendations into the company that this was a place definitely worth visiting and returning to.
Corporate Communications and Marketing Manager at the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation, Lovely St. Amy Joseph, welcomed the captain and crew, and guests said Soufriere beckons guests and travelers with undeniable beauty and charm.
Soufriere definitely offers something special. We have stunning landscapes. Of course, we have the world-famous Sulphur Springs Park, dubbed the world's only drive-in volcano. But I think what truly sets Soufriere apart is that her experiences are shaped by the warmth of her people. So I have no doubt that you will feel welcomed and cared for in Port Soufriere. So again, thank you for coming. We appreciate your confidence in having us as a port of call, and we look forward to welcoming you back again soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Member of Parliament for Soufriere, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, said the captain's comments were encouraging for the town and the port.
I was very pleased to be part of the delegation that actually met the captain of the vessel. And what was very encouraging was his remarks as to how he as a captain had visited Port Soufriere about 2 years ago. And he was so impressed with the warmth, the welcome, the level of service, the level of efficiency at Port Soufriere that he was able to recommend it to the owners of this new vessel. And there he is doing his inaugural visit here on a new vessel. So I am particularly pleased. I want again to take this moment to recognize the contribution of the SRDF, the team, the people at SMMA, our taxi drivers, and Soufriere in general, making Port Soufriere, apart from its beauty and everything else, so welcoming so that persons can recommend it and come back time and time again.
The captain also highlighted growing demand for itineraries that favor smaller ports, where travelers can connect more closely with place and people.
The nice parts of being on a small ship, that we can invite small groups of people and enjoy a little bit of fellowship and hospitality. So thank you very much. And once again, on behalf of myself, Patty, we're really pleased to have you on board and let you sample a little bit of our hospitality.
SRDF says calls like this strengthen confidence in Port Soufriere's readiness for cruise visits, while keeping the destination experience personal and well managed. Shane Stephen, NBC Prime.
Yes, there you have it. You know, Soufriere is coming on. I think Shelton, if we remember, GPH is down here and they're now working on the L-shaped jetty.
Yes.
Oh, things that, I mean, people, in all what you know, the noise.
We need to ask ourselves, for all these years that Soufriere has been supposedly a showpiece of St. Lucia, what St. Lucia represents, the drive-in volcano, the Twin Peaks, the heritage town. I mean, it has town status for a very long time. It's supposed to be St. Lucia's oldest town, by the way.
Yes.
You know, that Soufriere has had all that potential in it. You need to ask yourself, and I don't mean to get political, which party, when it is in government, has done the most beyond talking to actually try to develop and advance Soufriere, to make Soufriere live up to its vast potential, to push relentlessly and to obtain World Heritage status for Soufriere. To see the potential of Soufriere as a marine port, whether for visitors, whether for cargo, whatever it is, and to seek to actually develop Soufriere, who has gone not talking a good game, you know, about Soufriere, to actually do things for Soufriere. We know who went and said they were going to tap the geothermal potential of Soufriere and do something. We know who actually tried to get something done about it. We know that. We know who has done so much to actually take, and we know who has seemed only interested in stealing money through the Soufriere Foundation. Some people, the only thing they've been I'm interested in Soufriere for is as an avenue, is as a channel, is as a portal to bleed money for bubble, through bubble and so on. That is the only interest they have had in Soufriere. We have not heard that kind of thing. Whatever you can say about Walter, Francois, and fake diploma, whatever you can say about Harold Dalson, and whatever his personality issues, whatever, you have just not heard that coming out of the St. Lucia Labour Party and the people who have represented it there. You have not heard it.
That's right.
You've seen efforts to genuinely develop the Soufriere Town Square, under which government it was pushed.
That's right.
And who who stopped it?
Yes.
Who did everything as they stopped every other thing just so they could find some smoke screen to repurpose and redirect funds so that their cronies would be able to benefit it. The people we never thought would do that. Some people, their only contribution is an existing bridge. They don't know where the next bridge is going to come, But just to impress people of their supposed commitment, to build a bridge, they go and mash up the bridge that was there. And they have no idea what they were going to do with it. But thank God it fell in the hands of those who were genuinely committed. Soufriere, you are in good hands. You made a good decision.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, you're going to get good outcomes for the decision that
Just
you
on
have
the
made.
side, remember who said that once, if they get into power, first thing they'll do is rip up the contract with GPH.
Yeah, of course.
That's how these fellas are.
Anyway,
but God is good.
Yes, that's right. This is the Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. Let's take a break. When we come back, we have more video clips to play with you.
Bell sent you a message there.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Are you ready to make your mark in the media industry? NBC and Real FM are looking for fresh talent to join our team. We are currently seeking a dynamic radio DJ and announcer for Real FM, and also a skilled camera operator and editor for NBC. Apply today. Send your applications to jobs@nbcslu.com. Don't wait. The deadline is February 12, 2026.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufriere, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufriere, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar, Victoria Schwarzel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you, at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Thank you so very much, everyone, for staying with The Real Issues. Our final program for this week, our first week for the month of February 2026, with me, Shelton Daniel, alongside Terry Fenelon. And before I go into anything else, let me make an appeal to all of you who know him, his family, and even to those of you who don't, to those of you who are his friends, to those of you who were his colleagues in the teaching profession, which was his undertaking for almost all his adult life until his retirement not very long ago. To those of you who know his wife, and to have him in your prayers, and I'm talking about Comrade Mahoney Oje of Yefo. He's one of the offspring of the late senior police officer Barwin Oje. He's also the brother of Chris Oje, I think an agriculturist. He's the brother of Humina Oje, a retired banker of Dania Oje, whom we knew in the media. Very pleasant person. And so many others whose names I could call. His wife, Diane Oje, who has informed me that he's not doing very well. Chris is a very courageous person. I mentioned about the young children who, when you see they with their friends, they forget all sickness that they have and so on. When it's time for sports and having a good time, they want to be out there running, jumping, climbing trees, swimming, dancing, oblivious. Well, even as an adult, Mahoney Oje is like that. He's a man, any little break in the clouds that he gets when he's ill, you'll know, because he will be back in the group. He'll be posting, he'll be contributing, he'll be saying his thing and so on. And so when you hear that he's bedridden and barely communicating, we really have to put forth our entreaties and intercessions and supplications, for him. And I'm asking you, please, to do that, and to ask you, Diane, to continue being as you are, to be strong. If there's anyone else who things that they can do in addition to praying, anything else, because you know how it goes with medical situations and so on, especially when they advance. It isn't a case where family can say, hey, there's nothing more we can do and give up. But the process is one which requires support, resources and so on, and that if you can, that you contact many of the relatives that I have mentioned. You can find them on Facebook, and they haven't asked me to do this, by the way. I'm doing it simply out of my own discretion. So, you know, folks, remember in your prayers and otherwise, Mahoney Oje of UFO, retired teacher, who has taken a turn, it seems, for the worse where his health is concerned.
Yeah.
And so now this video clip by John Emmanuel, who is with the Ministry of Equity, now headed by Honorable Emma Hippolyte. And John always keeps us up to date with goings on at the ministry. So go ahead with it.
St. Lucia's capacity to respond effectively to domestic and gender-based violence has been significantly enhanced following the completion of specialized training for law enforcement officers in the implementation of the Domestic Violence Act and gender-responsive policing. The 5-day training program, conducted from January 26 to 30, concluded with a closing ceremony at the National Skills Development Center. 26 officers of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force successfully completed the training, which focused on survivor-centered response, professional conduct, evidence management, interagency coordination, and accountability under the law.
As police officers, you are often the first point of contact for victims of domestic violence, and your response can make a critical difference between fear and safety, silence and justice. The knowledge and skills gained this week strengthen not only your professional capacity, but also public confidence in the police force. The effective implementation of the Domestic Violence Act requires more than legislation. It requires understanding, empathy, sound judgment, and collaboration among all stakeholders.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Equity, Labor, Gender, Elderly Affairs, Social Justice and Consumer Welfare, Dr. Shaman Hippolyte Emmanuel, highlighted the importance of translating training into real-world impact for survivors and communities.
These are certainly unprecedented times that call for greater capacity, commitment and coordination, and innovation than ever before. Your task is huge, but it is very important. And may I add, it's doable. The greater your understanding of the responsibilities and other provisions contained in the Act, the better equipped that you will be to deal with the cases. I'm therefore pleased that you are all here demonstrating a shared goal, vision, and of course, appreciation of what you have learned. St. Lucia has certainly made significant strides in addressing DV and gender-based violence more broadly in the last few decades.
Dr. Hippolyte Emmanuel also emphasized the country's progress in legislative reform, institutional strengthening, including the Family Court, Women's Support Center, Forensic Laboratory, Vulnerable Persons Team, and National Task Force for Gender-Based Violence Prevention and Response, as well as the vital role of civil society organizations such as the St. Lucia Crisis Center and other partners providing prevention and response services. Speaking on behalf of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, Inspector Aniel Innocent reinforced the operational significance of applying the principles of gender-responsive policing beyond the classroom.
Gender-based violence remains a serious concern within our society, and as police officers, we are often the first point of contact for victims and survivors. The way we respond, our conduct, our language, and our decisions can have a lasting impact. This workshop has equipped each and every one of you with the knowledge and skills to respond in a more professional, sensitive, and victim-centered manner. The Commissioner encourages all officers to move beyond the classroom and to put into practice everything learned during this training. The true value of this workshop will will be measured by how effectively these principles are applied in your daily duties, particularly in the enforcement of the law and the protection of the most vulnerable.
The training marked the final activity under the first component of the Stop Gender-Based Violence project, funded by the Embassy of France and implemented in collaboration with UN Women Multi-Country Office of the Caribbean, the Family Court, the Gender-Based Violence Task Force, the Division of Gender Affairs, and the Royal St. Lucia Police Force.
Okay, thanks to John Emmanuel for that. And let me just acknowledge being corrected. I think I referred to the retired senior police officer Bawin Oji as being the late. And I'm sorry about that. A couple of people have corrected me on that, and I want to acknowledge your corrections that Mr. Bawin Oji is still very much alive, and he must be quite advanced in years. So, peradventure, based upon good genes and, emulation of his father, that Mahoney might, pull through and be with us longer. I'm not going to say what I was told about his condition, because next thing Mahoney is listening, he's hearing things, and, he might think that we are pronouncing on his prospects. Thank you very much, Tricky, who acknowledges, says that Mahoney is his cousin.
Okay.
So I know you'll be one of those who will be there rooting for him. And Rufina Wiwin is a surname, is a nickname. Louis Isidore of Vieux-Fort, I think she lives in the Beauséjour area, says, sorry to hear about Mr. Oje. He was my co-worker and neighbor, always smiling. Thank you very much for that, Wiwin. Who has also sent a picture of her granddaughter posing with Danny Butcher, as part of the whole, and says she lives, breathes, and thinks only Mr. Butcher. So this young one has a particular liking and affection. Cornelia Jacob is another one who types almost in bold for me to says Bawin is not late, he's alive. And she also notes that Mahoney is the strongest ever. She says he's a man when it comes to the elections, calypso, politics. These are the things that really fire him up. So maybe we need to keep him there by talking. Maybe, we let him go of the politics. We should fire up.
Yes.
Yeah, she says he has outlived so many people who were nowhere close to being as ill as he's been. And she also corrects me that Rufina lives in Larry Show. So what do you have to come and tell me the lady's business? If I make a mistake that might have good things, or a sniper would not have good directions, you have to come and give good directions and so on, so that they can snipe the lady. Anyway, Rufina's a good lady. We win. So nobody wants to snipe her, just fooling around here. Who else do we have? We want to acknowledge. Well, Cornelia is typing. Là, il parti encore comme ça. Il est me 10 jours avant ma mort. Vous savez, les Cornelia ça. All right. Someone called Tim says, Shelton, we cannot go back to the former arrangements. Or he says, can we not go back to the former arrangements where we sent people to Cuba on Cuban airlines for their surgery? I don't know that this has changed.
Yeah.
I think the airline at one time, Venezuela, was paying for it. But both countries, can you imagine Cuba with their fuel problems now and the oil problems? Sometimes that affects their aviation, capacity and so on. Venezuela now, which was giving them oil, it has been choked. We may not see things as it is, but what is going on there is a super, ultra powerful nation intimidating others, bullying others, taking advantage. No one is saying whether the situation in this other country is ideal, is what it should be. We don't want to change. But so many things in other countries that are not good. And there are dictatorships in them, but there are dictatorships of your allies. Saudi Arabia is not a democracy. Neither is Oman, neither is Qatar, neither is Kuwait. They are not democracies. As a matter of fact, human rights agencies and organizations, some of them based in America, will tell you Saudi Arabia is one of the most repressive. But do you go and invade them? Do you go and bomb them? Do you go and overthrow them or anything? Look at Egypt. There was a democratically elected government in Egypt. It was overthrown by the military. Subsequently, they held elections and they claimed that the general in charge of the military, General Mohammed Fatah al-Sisi, that he won by 98%, Who wins elections by 98%, Who does it? And he's a dictator. He deposed the democratically elected president, a guy called Mohammed Morsi, who who was educated in America, by the way. Mohammed Morsi got his doctorate and all. He went to university in the States. But because he was, you can say, a passionate Muslim, he was a member of an organization called the Muslim Brotherhood, which they decided to outlaw. Sisi seized power. Have you ever heard America put sanctions on Egypt or anything like that for reversing democratic? This has happened all over the world and so on. You do not intervene in these kinds of ways. The lack of even-handedness and so on. This thing has gone on all over the world, and it all depends on who's my friend. It's like this is what people are saying in America with ICE. Why are you only deploying ICE in states and in cities that are that voted for the Democrats, that are represented by Democrats, that have Democratic governors? Minnesota, for example. Los Angeles, California is a heavily blue state, Democratic state. It's only in those states you're deploying ICE to go and to do the kind of things that they're doing. Why not in places in Texas, Why not in places in Florida? Florida has endless illegal, in fact, that is the landing spot for illegal migrants and so on. You're not doing it. It's your domestic politics that you play in, and you're using it against people, who you feel can be proper pawns in this kind of place. How many other leaders in the world should you be parachuting and rappelling down into their country to extract, despotic leaders and this kind of thing? Is Venezuela, because they have oil at you, because immediately you went there, the conversation stopped being about narcotics trafficking, it stopped being about stolen elections, and it was all about oil. Oil. We will take their oil. We'll control the oil. We'll send our American companies to invest in the oil. Everybody then knew that out of the abundance of the heart was the mouth speaking about what really was the motivation. So I don't know what can be done right now. I'm not copping out, but God Almighty knows why He allows nations to become super powerful, and that they can do those things to others. And at the right time, He intervenes and shows that no matter how high you are, He's higher than you and He can bring you down. He did so with ancient Babylon. He did so with ancient Assyria. He did so with ancient Egypt. He did so with ancient Greece. He did so with the Roman Empire. And stop confusing Roman Empire with Roman Catholic Church. They're not the same. Too many people hate the Roman Catholic Church because they see it as being synonymous with the Roman Empire. If you have a reason for disagreeing with it on theological, whatever point, the Roman Empire and the Roman Catholic Church are not the same. So stop the mixing up of things. Britain had so much empire in the world. All it took was a war in Europe, to bankrupt them so much that they gave countries their independence, by force. Because they were so bankrupt and broke. The rise of America, likewise, whatever it has come through, it is not going to last forever. The reign and term of Donald Trump must come to an end, and there must be a checking of things, that a country cannot be $40 trillion almost in debt, and yet they continue incurring this kind of expenses, that war and arming and the arms race that is going on full speed, breakneck speed in the world. You must check yourself at some point. And if you feel you can deal with your debts, and you can deal with those things by plundering other nations, because you feel you're so powerful. Remember, you were powerful in Vietnam. Fellas wearing sandals, hiding in the jungle, that you could not see them for all your napalm and all your heavy bombing and all your, how they call it, defoliant chemicals that you used, and Agent Orange and so on. Those fellas were still able to pick you off one by one, They refused to give up and so on. So irrepressible military power is no guarantee that you're going to continue forever. You have your own people who don't believe in you, who are going to push back at you and so on. So, let them do their do. It cannot last forever. And they ain't going to conquer the world and destroy everybody else. They cannot live without the rest of the world. Anyway, folks.
Yeah.
There's a lot coming out. Cornelia says, you're worse than me by saying it loud. Because I said that she giving away women's location and so on. I left out the talk shows also excite Mahoney, as well as social media. Only put the tuts for Mahoney. Mahoney sometimes he may be not talking as he there, but he hearing everything. Yeah. And I say we want who Cornelia say, and I feel Mahoney serve about to put his deal po. In any moment you see Mahoney appearing at your door. Anyway, anything further from you, Terry, before we start taking the calls?
Yeah, we have. Let's play one more clip. It's Feel Good Friday. Let's see what's happening in St. Lucia. Which one you play now?
The St. Lucia Athletics Association got a big boost on Wednesday, January 28, 2026, as the Ministry of Education, Youth Development, Sports and Digital Transformation handed over a wide range of sporting equipment at the Mindu Phillip Park. Track shoes, starting blocks, agility kits, shot puts, javelins, stopwatches, discus and relay battles were among the gear delivered to support local athletes. Sports Minister Honorable Kenson Casimir highlighted that the donation is part of a $1 million investment in sports announced by Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre. He also revealed plans to upgrade the George Odlum Stadium later this year.
We've already distributed a lot in our communities. We made a distribution to the St. Lucia Athletics Association. We know at the end of the day we have a number of challenges as it pertains to athletics, but I was very, very happy to reassure the Athletics Association that we're expecting at some point this year to commence work on the George Odlum Stadium. Once we've removed the patients from that facility, and that would mean that we will have a 400-meter track soon enough for our athletes in Beaufort and one in Soufriere.
St. Lucia Athletics Association President Dora Henry welcomed the support, noting that while equipment is essential, the association still needs more resources to help athletes reach their full potential.
As we would have been saying before, as an association, we are in need not only equipment but resources, other resources. I'm happy to hear about the upgrade of the George Odlum Stadium. I know our athletes, coaches, officials and us as administrators cannot wait for the day for it to be completed. But I'm just saying a big thank you. I know this is the start of good things to come.
Minister Casimir also shared that work is on the way to establish a 400-meter track up north.
As a ministry, the vision is to establish a 400-meter track up north, and we've started the process of doing just that. We are exploring and considering 2 sites at the moment. I don't think I'm at liberty to say because some of it is private land that we having conversations as to whether or not we should have a compulsory compulsory acquisition for, and one is Crown land, but we have been doing the necessary investigations, the costing, the design, and very soon we will be making an announcement, hopefully by this budget cycle, by budget in March, April.
The minister added that the gym at Mindu Phillip Park will soon open, offering strength training facilities for athletes, cricketers and other sports disciplines. Shane Stephen, NBC Prime.
Right, wonderful. There seems to be a police officer who's making a lot of waves in a good way, not in a kakal way.
I like that.
They call him PC Brooms. No, not PC. He's not a PC. He's a sergeant. Sergeant Lester Broom.
Right.
Yes, Lester Brooms. PC Brooms is the man with Mad, that band from...
Oh, okay. Barbados.
Barbados, the talk, but don't touch me, you know. Yes, you know. The comedian, comedian band and so on. Yeah, but this one is a sergeant, you know. He's not PC Brooms, you know.
On the battle relay.
Yes, in the battle relay, I see someone sent me a link of him with Cornelia Jacob. He seems to be really a personable kind of, police officer and so on.
Right attitude.
Yeah, the children like him. You know, he's a man who seems to understand, community policing and so on. Yes. The only thing, that picture he posed there with Cornelia, I can't understand how PC Brooms or Sergeant Brooms allowing Cornelia to be taller than him. This kind of thing there. Don't take picture with anybody like that who taller than you. Especially Cornelia. Because you're looking like she could eat 2 plates of food. On your head there and so on. Just kidding. I can't let anything pass and not tease Cornelia with it. Anyway, folks, I think we're about going into
the break. Yes.
What she said there. I want him to hear and know. She says something. I want him to hear and know. Don't read this. But then she put something there. So I won't read it if she's already said don't read this. But she'd sent it. Good afternoon to our always friend who wishes us well. Has our good at heart. Her name is Muriel Finister, but she goes by the nicknames Lina or Lima. So she says, blessed weekend to you, Shelton and Mr. Terry. Enjoy your entire afternoon. Stay safe. Hugs. All right. Thank you very much for that. Who else do I have there? There's so many other messages. Good afternoon to you, Cheryl Skeet. of Habitat in Bonte, and also to your recently turned 80 sister, it is Alison Skid, the karaoke lady and so on. She was 80 years earlier this week. Would you believe it? Looking, just looking at her, you would never guess it.
Never guess the age.
Yeah, they look so good, So thank you all very much for your good wishes, and we'll take our final commercial break. And when we come back, the phone lines will be open for your messages that we will read as much as we can, and your calls as well.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Are you ready to make your mark in the media industry? NBC and Real FM are looking for fresh talent to join our team. We are currently seeking a dynamic radio DJ and announcer for Real FM, and also a skilled camera operator and editor for NBC. Apply today. Send your applications to jobs@nbcslu.com. Don't wait. The deadline is February 12, 2026.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufriere, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufriere, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with the Real Issues on this Friday, day 6 of February 2026. And we are ready to take your calls. Jaquan, can you just set up the phone for me so we can put the mic on it and we can call us on the WhatsApp line, folks. That number, area code 758, of course, 487-9849, 487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that. And you can also reach us on the local landline, which is 4533-911. 4533-911. That is the local landline that you can call direct. And you can also reach us on WhatsApp, 487-9849. I'm seeing a picture showing up there, which I see a familiar face in the crowd with her phone, spying on people, taking pictures. That looks like Cornelia Jacob. And you know, the thing is, she's genuinely tall, you know. As if when I see her, there's like almost everybody, she's a head above them, you know, not the shoulders too, you know, but head alone above everybody else. The shoulders, she has some competition, you know, tall woman. I don't know, we'll have to find a way to put a little, how they call that, you know, the plane you down and so on, or something like that, you know, get some good joiner to do that for us. But we're open for your calls now, 487-9849. Have you noticed this since battle release? Sometimes we struggle for the calls.
Yes, because
people's attention is really there. Not even Andrew Antoine taking us on today, to try to get his call. And Cornelia, where we seeing her there, if that is a real-time picture, oh boy, she might shoot off. She might shoot off a little text, but you know, she ain't care with us.
Yes, the noise.
You know what I mean? Yes.
But
yes.
if you don't have call, we can play the one if the video.
Yeah, of course, yes, of course. Let's play the videos. Yes.
Minister of Agriculture.
Oh yeah.
The floor to St. Lucia. Thank you, Chair. Excellencies, distinguished colleagues. St. Lucia extends sincere appreciation to our gracious hosts for the invitation to participate in this 10th International Cooperation Conference and to the Secretariat for convening a space that moves us beyond dialogue toward practical and collaborative solutions to shared regional challenges. We note and approve of your ambition to move to revitalize the organization. The Greater Caribbean possesses several natural and structural comparative advantages in addressing these priority areas that we have been discussing over the last 2 days. From St. Lucia's perspective, we note that very few regions in the world can offer such a concentration of biodiversity, coastal beauty, music, traditions, and shared yet distinct historical narratives within such close geographic proximity. And that density of experience is a unique regional asset. St. Lucia's own development journey illustrates this. Tourism has been central to our economic survival, but we have learned that competitiveness lies not in volume alone, but in distinctiveness, authenticity, and connection to place. Our cultural heritage, natural landscapes, and community traditions are not side products of tourism. They are the product. And that includes achieving our first Olympic gold and silver medals by the fastest woman in the world, Julian Alfred, and the remarkable achievement of being the world's leading honeymoon destination. There is so much we can offer as a country, but we see tremendous opportunity through regional collaboration. And this is where a multi-destination approach across the Greater Caribbean becomes transformative. We may wish to note that most of the Eastern Caribbean carnivals occur within the same period, and this presents an extremely viable opportunity. Rather than competing within a narrow space, we can present the region as an integrated experience, allowing visitors to move through different cultural expressions, ecosystems, and histories within a single journey. This increases visitor value, extends stays, and spreads benefits more equitably across communities. For St. Lucia, therefore, tourism for cultural heritage is not a standalone sector. It is a platform through which we express identity, create livelihoods, empower communities, and connect regionally. But we also take this opportunity to note that the threat that sargassum poses to our economic viability. Given the significance of tourism, which represents almost 70% of our GDP, any threat to our core sector must be treated seriously. As such, we also believe that this shared issue gives opportunity for the formulation of a shared long-term solution which addresses our concerns and captures the opportunity for transformation of the sargassum to something which benefits our people where possible. When we collaborate in this area, we are not just strengthening tourism, we are protecting it. And that allows us to further strengthen the social and economic fabric of the Greater Caribbean.
Well, Terry, if a minister gets rated according to how well they sound, it's our Minister of Agriculture, Climate Change and other portfolios. Sounds good, eh?
A partner just text me there. Guess what he said?
Exactly.
He said, "Guys, I listened, but I hear a finger. Something was distracting him."
Yeah.
The Prime Minister knew what he was doing, when he put her in agriculture. Okay. So a lot of fellas now want to go into agriculture. And there are fellas like me, you have to eat what you grow and grow what you eat. So right now, guys, I finish for 1 potty. So I better buy some green figs, some yam, and some dashing, some chicken backs for tomorrow. A 1 pot, because right now, guys, we have to go back to the land. And the Prime Minister, they say, but I catch what he did there. He put the Minister of Agriculture in high heels. So fellas now will, but that's an aside. But that is great. We have good representation, comrade. And when Lisa is on the stage, you have to listen.
Indeed.
There are a lot of people who had a lot of things to say. Berries that sang that. A lot of things to say. Say your things. But we have people of substance who could represent us well on the world stage. You understand?
Right.
And this Lisa is just one example of that.
Yeah. Terry, you give me a little bit of, how we call it?
Ammunition there.
No, you often give me a little bit of, you jibe me about the biblicist thing.
Yes.
Would you imagine who a strong biblicist piece was written by recently, and it is so good? The University of the West Indies Pro-Vice Chancellor and the principal of the Five Islands campus in Antigua, Professor Justin Robinson. If I have time, I will read for you what he said. But we have a caller on the line. Hi, Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon.
This voice sounds familiar, It looks like
how could it not sound familiar? And I am necessarily happy with either of you.
Oh my word.
Because Terry is supposed to be my friend and defend me. He does not. And Shelton, we're from Mopo, right? We have Mopo roots together, but you're the biggest attacker. I can live with that in February. But
if we didn't do that, you'd be overwhelmed by all the joy in your life, Baton relay, this, that, the other. You seem to have it all,
Let me tell you, Baton relay, my goodness. Listen, Baton relay takes away all my vocabulary, just disintegrates.
It's such a vibe.
Let me tell you for years. My officer brings me, yes. Ele put cheap at the lab for yes. Me come in. He told me because I want to say extend best wishes. Get all greetings to Mr. Oje, my former teacher and home teacher. God is good. He knows best. We're praying for the best in the end. Shelton,
Yes.
There's so much that I need to say that I want to say regarding what is going on. When you look at
why is your phone sounding a little muffled today? I don't know why. Normally.
My phone muffled.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little too relaxed.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay. All right.
Is it better now?
Yeah, a little better.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. We'll work with that.
Okay. When you look at the caliber of people representing this country, you have nothing to fear, you know, because they can speak, they are informed, they know what's going on, as opposed to what was there, and they don't know. Il n'y a pas de connaître. Pour là, dimension, c'est ici, qu'on veut tout bagay qui t'a bon, oui, pays. Ou pas une famille là? Tout quand c'est là, tout pas quand c'est là. Ou pas une famille là? You pas qu'à être affecté par ça qu'a fait là? Come on, man. There is a level of patriotism, and there should be no level of patriotism, but there ought to be a level of partisanship. We need to know when to release party colors and when to come together as a nation, especially in February. But let's make the point, a very important point. Mr. Pierre is not a neighbor. Mr. Pierre is Philip Joseph Pierre, et pas Pierre Allen Chasney. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let me release that line. We're taking your calls until 2 o'clock. But like I said, Professor Justin Robinson, the principal of the Five Islands campus of the University of the West Indies in Antigua, has written a piece, which it took me by surprise. You know, you don't expect people, these high-standing academics and intellectuals to take that line. But he says, it's called The Oldest Story in the Book. My priest asked to give a talk to the congregation at St. Paul's and St. Barnabas on the current global and regional developments. Here is my Christian Bible take. The Bible is, among many things, the story of a small people trying to survive among empires. This is not a minor theme. It is the theme, the spine that runs from Genesis through Revelation. Abraham is called out from the Mesopotamian Empire. Moses confronts Pharaoh of the Egyptian Empire. The prophets thunder against the Assyrian and Babylonian empires, and Jesus is born under Roman occupation, tried by a Roman governor and executed by Roman soldiers. If you grew up in a Caribbean church, you know these stories. What you may not have noticed is how well they describe our own history and present conditions. We have a caller on the WhatsApp line. Good afternoon, Real Issues. Hello? Hi, caller, you're on the air. Hello? This person looks like a tricky person, you know, a trickster. You know, a fellow who, just because he heard me reading something based with the Bible, he timing his call and he not talking just so he can, you know, disturb the flow of scripture coming from a university professor, you know. So vous savez, c'est un trickster, madame, monsieur. Good afternoon, caller, you're on the air. Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Good afternoon, Philip.
All right, good afternoon.
And my brother, like I say, I continue to keep your family in our prayers. You know, knowing that you just lost your mom.
Thank you very much.
Just to be with.
Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah. So it appears that some people just do not like the country when they're not in charge, and when they're in charge, they make a mess of it. So I'm talking about the leader of the opposition, who feel that it's time for them to celebrate. But what they need to know, that this country...
Okay, well, let's continue for another paragraph quickly from Professor Robinson. Let's begin where the Bible begins its liberation story in Egypt. He's quoting, "The Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage." End of quote. And he quotes Exodus 1, chapter 1, verses 13 to 14. Pharaoh's economy was elegant in its cruelty, and the enslaved built the infrastructure of their own oppression. Tell me when we have the call lined up. Okay, we have... Yeah, go ahead. What happened there? You hit the hang up button?
You cut me off, I cut off myself.
No, you hit the hang up button by accident there.
Okay, yeah. Yes, so I'm just saying that we are all St. Lucians, and we need to come together in times of crisis.
That's right.
We cannot stand on the sideline and support this kind of dictatorship coming from America because we were booted out of office and we were demoralized in the last election. At the end of the day, we are all St. Lucians. We still have to live here. Because if they decide to take out or have visa restrictions on St. Lucians, he too claim he's a Lucian, Canadian by passage or whatever it is. But the reality is we have to come together as a people this time because unity is strength. And we must also remember that the presidency in America is not for 10 years. It's not a lifelong thing. And according to the Bible, Shelton, you know the shortest verse in the Bible, right?
Jesus wept.
That too. And he said, that too shall pass.
Okay.
Because Donald Trump will not always be there. So we have to consolidate right now, come together as a people. If we really say we love St. Lucia, now is the time to show slate. So don't worry about the detractors. We have a big mission to accomplish. We have to rally behind our leaders and make sure that they make the best decision in the interest of St. Lucia and putting St. Lucia and the people of St. Lucia first. Have a good afternoon, brothers.
Thank you very much. Thanks. All right. To continue Professor Justin's article, let's begin where the Bible begins. Okay, I read that already. Look at the Caribbean and tell me the structure is unfamiliar. For 300 years, we grew sugar we did not consume for people who did not pay us under arrangements designed in London and Madrid. We pivoted to tourism, welcoming visitors to enjoy islands whose own citizens could not afford a decent standard of living. We import 85% of our food in a region with some of the most fertile soil on earth. We send our brightest graduates abroad and call the remittances a development strategy. Pharaoh's economy was designed for Pharaoh, and so is ours. The post-war international order, sovereign equality, access to courts, a voice in global affairs, allowed small nations to exist with some dignity. Those were the walls of our Jerusalem, and they are being dismantled by the very nations that built them. Like Nehemiah, who I think you quoted recently, surveying the ruins by moonlight, Nehemiah 2:13, we must see clearly what has been destroyed before we can rebuild. No scripture captures the dilemma of the small nation under great power more precisely than Jesus' response on Roman taxation. Quote, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. End of quote. And he's quoting Matthew 22:21. This was not evasion. For people living under occupation, it was a framework for survival, given that imperial power demands compliance. But compliance need not mean surrender of everything that matters. The coin bears Caesar's image, so give it back. But you bear God's image, and that is not Caesar's to claim. Caribbean leaders must now navigate this tension daily. Jesus' instruction was never surrender everything. It was know what belongs to empire and never forget what belongs to your people. So what does scripture really counsel in this new reality? When Babylonian exile was a reality, not a threat, but a fact, God's instruction through Jeremiah was startling. Quote, build houses and live in them. Plant gardens and eat their produce. Seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile. Jeremiah 29:5-7. The false prophets promised imminent rescue, but Jeremiah said, stop waiting, build where you are, and invest where you are. Not because exile is just, but because waiting for rescue is a kind of death. This is the Caribbean's mandate now. Build houses means invest in your own institutions. Plant gardens means grow what we eat and create what we consume. Seek the welfare means our prosperity is tied to our communities, not distant capitals. King David reminds us that size is not destiny. He defeated Goliath not by acquiring the giant's weapons, but by using what he had, a sling, 5 stones, and the conviction that scale alone does not determine outcomes. He quotes 1 Samuel 17:45. The Caribbean's 5 stones are our climate expertise, our digital potential, our capacity for energy sovereignty, the proven model of OECS integration, and the power of a unified regional voice. In the parable of the Good Samaritan, the wounded man's own countrymen passed him by and help came from the outsider. Luke 10:30-37. Stop expecting Washington, London, or Ottawa to stop and help. We must be the Samaritan to each other. The OECS proves regional integration works. Common currency, common court, and labor mobility. The question is why what works for 600,000 people cannot work across CARICOM. Mordecai said to Esther, quote, if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish, and who knows but that you have come to your position for such a time as this, end of quote, Esther 4:14. The work of survival will be done with or without us. The question is whether we participate in our own rescue. If the scale of the challenge makes us hesitate, Isaiah reminds us how God's work begins not with armies or institutions, but with a single voice willing to answer. And he's quoting Isaiah 6:8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? Who will go for us? And I said, here I am, send me. End of quote. Isaiah did not volunteer from comfort. He volunteered from conviction. The Caribbean does not need everyone to do everything. It needs enough people in cabinet rooms, in boardrooms, in classrooms, in church halls to say, here am I. Paul wrote to the Galatians, and he's quoting Galatians 5:1, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery, end of quote. The recognition that no one is coming to save us is not a cause for despair. It is the most liberating truth available. The illusion is over. The false prophets who promised that the international system would protect us, that migration would relieve us, that deference would reward us, have been answered by history. Moses' final words to a people standing on the edge of a new reality, quote, Deuteronomy 13:19, I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live, end of quote. We built economies our people endure. Now we must build economies they choose. The only question is whether we will act like we finally understand. And this is not one of Shelton Daniel's preambles. This is a speech delivered at the invitation, of a church by Professor C. Justin Robinson. He is the Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of the Five Islands campus of the University of the West Indies in Antigua.
That's required reading. Yes. You should circulate that.
Yeah. Like I have said, I often find that people of high intellectual and academic standing, they tend to avoid to eschew, the Bible because it is supposed to be the recourse of simpletons, people who don't have much brains, so before anything they lean on praise the Lord, the Lord, and
leave it to God
because they have nothing to say, whatever. This is a man of
intellectual,
exactly, who was saying that he was invited to give a speech, and he's circulating it as part of his regular circulars of op-eds as the principal of the Five Islands.
Fantastic piece.
Faith is not out of style, as some people might want to believe. Jerry, we're wrapping up.
So yes, good week,
I
Shelton.
can give you the last couple of minutes.
No, that's fine. We have so much to discuss. Yes, there are some winds that are not very nice, but there is a lot happening in the country. And coming up next week, Shelton, we will zero in on the good that is happening, because there's a lot of good happening. You understand? There are a lot. We have to talk about, and prop up our government, our country. You understand? We're not going to allow those loud, the noisy neighbors to distract us. We're going to keep focused, and we're going to let you know what is happening so that you could be in sync with the government.
All right, well, folks, thank you so very much for having been part of the Real Issues for another week, the first week of the month of February. 2026, God willing, will start again from Monday, which will be the 9th day of February. And do enjoy your weekend safely. Enjoy all the activities that come with it. as we lead in the build-up towards independence, before which, of course, I know a lot of people will be enjoying their Valentine's Day, all of that. We've heard a lot of promotion done for the Legacy Show, which will be held tomorrow. Terry has vowed that he will be, when the roll is called, that he will be there. So whatever you do, enjoy, stay safe, keep others safe. God bless you all. Shelton Daniel, on behalf of Terry and Jaquan, signing out.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles,
The winning numbers for the midday draw of Friday, 6 February 2026 were Double Daily Grand 2, 11, 17, 18, Big 4, 8, 8, 3, 6, Big 4 Multi-X FP, Pick 2, 4, 7, Pick 2 Multi-X FP, 1 off 9, 8, 3, Lucky 3, 6, 8, 4, Lucky 3 Multi-X FP.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts,